friends, Lizette here. Thank you so much for tuning in for another Simply Art video. In this video, I'm going to give you a glimpse into my iPhone. I did a little debating amongst myself on what channel to post this video on. I wasn't sure if I should post it here on my creative business channel or if I should host it on my personal channel, A Cali Girl in the South. Because my iPhone holds both my personal information and personal apps as well as my business information and apps. But I ultimately decided to put it on the channel that you're watching it on right here as my creative business channel because the majority of the time that I am on my phone, I am using it for my business. So let's jump right in and turn on my phone. As a screensaver, I have OC, my little poodle. And then as a backdrop for my iPhone, I have this really gorgeous gray succulent, which matches my mint case that I am currently using. Starting with the first page, I have my defaults at the bottom, my messages, phone, Gmail, and Safari. And then on the first page, I have forecast, my camera, photos, calendar, maps, the app store and settings, the calculator, light, and FaceTime. All very much default things. And then in this folder here, social, I have Pinterest, which of course is one of my favorite apps. I have lots of Pinterest boards on my Pinterest page, including DIY, my YouTube videos, creative inspiration, behind the scenes to show you what I'm up to in my business, quotes, food, party, home, handmade items, baby stuff, techie stuff, things for under $20, and lots more. And then of course YouTube. What would my iPhone be without YouTube? And on my YouTube channel, of course, you can find crafting and DIY, some behind the scenes to my business, as well as some Simply Art freebies. Glitter and Beauty has moved over to my personal channel, A Cali Girl in the South. So make sure to check that channel out if you are interested in that playlist. I still have the older videos here, but any new videos are posted in my new channel. Same thing goes for hauls and reviews unless they are regarding crafting. As you can see, I am subscribed to a lot of people. And then I have Instagram, which I am always posting pictures on. And I post behind the scenes pictures, inspirational pictures. You can see what I'm up to in my business. I post inspirational photos and personal photos, like good old OC here. Are there hearts on my head? I just think that's the funniest thing ever. I've got strange humor. Every once in a while I'll post a video. Like this one I posted after our first winter here in North Carolina. Anyone see the Grumpy Cat meme where he's like, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And Grumpy Cat's like, "No." That's what that reminds me of. And then of course I'll post my artwork on my Instagram channel. So if that's something you're interested in, totally check me out on Instagram. And then I've got Twitter. Which, to be quite honest, is not one of my favorite apps. I am very rarely on Twitter. However, if you are a Twitter person, you will see me tweeting because I have all of my other social media linked to Twitter. So every time I post on another social media platform, it'll auto-tweet something on Twitter. So if Twitter is your vice of choice, then you can still find me on Twitter. And then I have Google+, where you can also stay up to date on what is happening with my business and beyond. I hope you're seeing a trend here. I'm on pretty much every social media out there. And I have Skype and Hangouts And then instead of having a Facebook app, I have a paper app. How pretty is that? There are always flowers for those who want to see them. That is a really pretty quote. And then I have a folder right next to the social one called Editing Video. And inside of there I have Vine, Capture, Animoto, Magisto, Puppet, and iMovie. Animoto I've used quite a few times. Capture, I haven't really needed to use it. And then of course good old iMovie. And Puppet I haven't used yet, but I'm really excited to try it. And I believe this app was free. And then in my design folder, which is one of my most used folders on the iPhone, I have Pic Collage, Over, Studio, Rona, Snap Guide, PicPlay Plus, or PicPlay Post, Oh Baby, Popograph, and Flipagram. Oh Baby is supposed to be for people that have children, but I am a poodle mama, so that totally counts. And I like to use this app because it has the cutest graphics. So cute. If I had to pick one app where I spend the majority of my time, it would be this one here. And that is because I use this one to watermark the majority of the pictures that I post on Instagram. And then on the second page of the design folder, I have Groovebook. And I haven't used the service yet. It's a monthly service where you can have your photos printed after uploading them from your iPhone. I've been wanting to try it ever since I saw it on Shark Tank like a couple of months ago, but I haven't got around to using it. But I will do that, and perhaps I can maybe do a video review if I ever get around to using that service. And then still on the first page, we have another folder called Work, where I have Pocket, Tumblr, and if you guys aren't aware, I do have a Tumblr account. And the way I use my Tumblr account is it really just catches everything that I do in all of my social media and kind of houses it in one place. My tweets will go here, and my Instagram photos will go here, blog posts, videos. It's just a way to keep up with me on all of my social media platforms if you have a Tumblr account. And then I have pages because I do have a fan page for my business, Simply Art. And then ITB for Kids, Interactive Touch Books is what it stands for, is a really cool app where you can download it for free and then purchase interactive books and coloring books. The books are very affordable and they're so much fun if you have kids. Here is one of my books, the Garden Activity Book, which is only 99 cents. And here are some screenshots from it. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. My Counting Hearts coloring book is so much fun. You can color in the pages, and then you can also give your kids another game on top of coloring the pages by asking them to count how many hearts they can find on each page. So they can go in and find all of the little hidden hearts. And then the next app is Asana, which I won't log into, but my husband and I use this to work together. And what it is it's a project management system that allows you to work with your team more efficiently without having to email each other back and forth. And it's a great app, and I would recommend it to anyone. And it's free, I believe, up until a certain point. I'm not quite sure when you have to pay. And then there's WordPress, which, to be quite honest, even though Simply Art OC is on WordPress, I never use this app because currently it has really bad reviews. So I'm waiting for them to fix any bugs that they have. And then I have Dropbox and Picasa. Both of them hold our files. We have quite a bit of files in our household. And so both of those are cloud-based programs. And then I have GoToMeeting, MailChimp, Ustream, Meetup, Etsy, my Square, which is this register app, Fiverr, and iPhoto. Whoops. I am constantly using MailChimp. I'm always on Meetup. And if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, you should totally check out my Meetup. And then this Etsy is the second of my Etsy apps. This one is strictly for my shop, and it tells me who's favorited my shop and who's purchased, and it's a way for me to keep track of my Etsy store. Little fun fact is every time someone favorites either my store or a particular item, I send them a thank you coupon for showing some love. So if you haven't checked out my Etsy store, feel free to do that, and don't forget to favorite something so that you can get a coupon. And then Fiverr I've used twice now. I'm loving this website. I've used it to create my husband's intro to his gaming channel, Epic Mega Gameplay. And then I've also used it to create a graphic for one of my products on my website, simplyartoc.com. And then iPhoto, I don't usually use on the phone, and that is everything in my work folder. And then in my entertainment folder, I have Redbox, videos, and Fandango. I use Redbox all the time and Fandango every once in a while. I don't think I've ever touched that videos app once. And then utilities is boring. Apple stuff is more boring. And then I have Zen. And here I have Take a Break, Sleep Pillow, Deep Sleep Meditations, MW, Meditate, and Mind Body Connect. And Mind Body Connect and Deep Sleep are the only two apps that I use. Deep Sleep is my ultimate favorite. I do have a hard time sleeping. So this is a paid app, but they do have free versions. And I use this on some nights when I'm having an extra hard time getting to sleep. And then on the second page, I have Sleep Relax, which I don't use all that often. Deep Sleep would be my favorite by far. And then I have a food folder where I have Starbucks, Yelp, and Teavana. I use Yelp all the time, and I use Teavana even more. And the Teavana app is so awesome because when I make my tea, I use their brewing feature. Where is it? The tea timer, where you choose what tea you're going to make, whether or not it's flavored, and if it's going to be iced. And then it's got a really cool timer that has some music. And you can see the tea leaves falling. How cool is that? And then Starbucks, I actually only have on my iPhone because of my husband. I don't drink Starbucks all that often, but every once in a while when I'm with him, he'll have Starbucks. So it's just an app that I have because he has one of those Starbucks cards. And then we've got travel. We have Hipmunk and hotels.com. And then I have an education folder that has TED, Duolingo, Zinio, CreativeBug, and iBooks. I use Zinio quite often, which is a magazine app. And I get free magazines from my local Charlotte library, which is really cool. Duolingo I have not used as often as I should, but I am trying to learn Spanish. So I'm using that app. And then CreativeBug is a lot of fun. It is a membership-based app, so I believe it's $10 a month. But for $10 a month, you get all of these really cool creative arts and crafts classes. They do have a free trial though, so if you want to try it, you should check out creativebug.com. And then iBooks. which I'm actually not even sure what's in my iBooks. Oh, I have a few PDFs in my iBooks. And then next to education is my GoPro folder where I have the remote and GoPro. And I use the GoPro app on my phone to see what exactly my GoPro is filming. So if I were connected to the same Wi-Fi as my GoPro, we would be able to see it right here in that area that says searching for a Wi-Fi GoPro. And then it would be a little screen for me to see what was happening. And then I have a Disney folder where I have the Disney World app and a countdown. I keep meaning to delete this thing, but I'm hoping that it gets fixed. I paid for this app and it's broken. So don't buy that app. Countdown. Don't buy it. And then the Disney World app has all of my information for our upcoming Disney World trip in November. I'm so excited about that trip. I'm going to have all kinds of videos posted on my personal channel, A Cali Girl in the South. So if you're not subscribed to that and you are a Disney fan, go subscribe now, because come November, I'm going to have so many videos on Disney because it is going to be our first time going to Disney World. But this app is one of my favorite apps on my phone. It's very well done, and it holds our hotel reservations, and it holds all of our dinner reservations. And then it's a little too soon, but in a couple months we'll be able to book all of our fast passes. And I haven't tried it yet, but I also have a spa appointment, and I'm not sure if this app will house it or not. But these are all of our reservations. And then I won't be clicking on these, but I do have a Moolah folder where I have a Wells Fargo and a Simple app. And then in the shopping folder, I have Hobby Lobby, Hot Look, or however you pronounce that, Etsy, Publix, Craigslist, Zappos, Living Social, Groupon, Earth Fare, and a shopping list, which is the free version. There's also a paid version. I never use it. Etsy, I use every once in a while. I used to use it all the time before they came out with a sellers app for Etsy, which is the one you saw in the work folder. So now I don't go on this one as often because I would only visit Etsy to check my shop. I do look on Hot Look ever so often, Zappos every once in a while, and Groupon and Living Social would probably be the two most used apps. And then I also check out my Earth Fare because I have a Tomato Banks account, which means it just accumulates all of my purchases and gives me coupons or something like that. I haven't reached a coupon yet, but in theory that's what happens. And then I have a games folder, which is probably one of my least used folders, but it is in here nonetheless. And it has Solitaire, Draw 2 Free, Doodle Fit 2, Colors and Luminosity, This is Sand, Go Dance, Creative Cam, Brain Sparker, Darklings, and Draw Animal. I'm going to do a separate video on Draw Animal shortly, so if you're not subscribed to my channel and you're interested in that, subscribe. So on this first page, my two favorite games are Color Zen and Draw 2 Free. This is Sand is just really pretty and super calming. I like relaxing games, not ones that stress me out. So I can't do too many like difficult games. This is just about my speed. And then on the last page, I have phone design, which I don't use that often, but I do have wallpapers and icon skins. And that is everything that is in my iPhone. Hopefully you guys found that interesting. Perhaps maybe you even found an app or two that you want to download and try. If there's any cool apps that you think I'm totally missing and would love for me to know about, leave me a comment in the comments area and I will make sure to check those out. And in the meantime, if you're not already, subscribe to my channel. Check me out on all of my social media. Links are below. Subscribe to my newsletter because I send out all kinds of free creative goodness. And if you want to get to know me a little better, check out my personal channel, A Cali Girl in the South. Can't wait to see you in the next Simply Art video. Cheers!